bunch of wonderful autistic clients were hugging the shit out of me before I left.
Right.
Bro, that was wild. People were moaning and sobbing, all because of these people, right? Their lives are lost. And they were all men. So I don't know what's going on, man. I feel like a lot of times when I hear about people, clients, colleagues going through it, when their clients have taken their own life, a good majority of the time, Spence, it's not the ones that are in therapy that end up doing it and completing, taking their own life. There'll be attempts, yeah, but not completing it. It's usually the folks that are super isolated, super alone, don't say nothing to no one, not in therapy, right? My life's worthless, blah, blah, blah. It's very rare. I've only had one person in my 10 years to complete. Had a lot of close calls, right. But only one where like it was it. So we're having this discussion today because there's men in probably almost every walks in every version of your life. I don't care how much you hate men or don't, if you love the men. There's dudes that are affected around you and that are walking with something. So what I try to tell people, Spence, is you don't know what people are going through. A homie may treat you like shit, or maybe they don't make eye contact with you because they're depressed as fuck. Not because they hate you, not because they're racist. Sometimes they just going through their own shit. Sometimes people treat me or Pops weird. I'm like, they got something else going on. Or they'll treat my clients weird. I'm like, they got something else going on. Not an excuse, but it always makes me wonder, like, what are people going through to act a certain way? And so then you see someone as bubbly and happy and smiling like Jim Irsay, the owner of the Indianapolis cult, Spence. And he was just on Pat McAfee, like literally like a couple weeks ago, just shucking and jiving, talking shit, drinking, talking about drinking, having fun, golfing. And then he dies of an apparent, some intoxication related issues. And which he's been battling drug addiction his entire life. He'd been in rehab, car crashes, blah, blah, blah. But he was one of the biggest proponents in the NFL called Kick the Stigma. Indianapolis Colts, super huge, Kick the Stigma. He'd been pumping it. I was blessed enough to go in there and him bring me in there along with some of my other colleagues around Indianapolis to go in and talk to the athletes and the staff. Kick the Stigma. It was magnificent. We got to hang out, practice, and watch the summer training and all that. It was magnificent. And then to see him in the crowd too was like magnificent. Like how awesome is that? But he suffers. And so I feel like a lot of men suffer, Spence. So, right, we talk about men's mental health, and me and you were discussing it. Like, I don't feel like it's that noticeable or that people actually truly give a shit. I feel like what you said, like sometimes men will show some vulnerability, some emotions, and then they'll poop on them, or they'll call them soft or bitches or pussies, or I want a real man. And a lot of men are scared to like show these things because they think that like people are going to like devalue them. And in some cases that is true. I don't know who's perpetuating that, kid. Is it the women that are perpetuating that to your mind, or is it other men that are perpetuating that and the women are just picking it up?
I think it's everybody. I mean,
facts.
You could literally ask people like on the street, like, I literally just saw like this video. Dude was asking women on the street, like, should a guy wear a WNBA jersey? Simple question. Just wear a WNBA jersey. Just be like, and then there's one who was just like, why would you do that? Why would you ever wear that? Why would you ever do that? And I'm bringing that because it's like, it's one of the most simple things. And, just showing support for a women's league, you could automatically make you soft or somebody who is seen as just like not as much of a man, right? And it's that, even that small of a thing. And I think it also goes to show that like, women in general, they've like, a lot of women have just become a lot more strict on what they want from a guy. And so when you put that out there, that you just have like all these things that you want from a guy, that's a lot of pressure for some people. And I think once, a lot of guys don't have like the skills to even talk to women or to even be in a relationship. And so you're going to be alone in that aspect, and that could really affect you. Like you're trying to be all these different things, but like what, you're like a what guy who's like 5'7", not not bad,
Yeah.
average, whatever, and okay looking, and then you can't stack up to like these certain things that are put on the table. And so I think a lot of guys see that and then they go, what's the point? I'm going to be alone. I'm going to be by myself. And maybe they don't have friends either. Maybe they don't have guy friends that they talk to and hang out with either. So then it's going back to the isolation thing. And I just think that social media, I think that women, men, we all do it to ourselves. I think society in general, we just do this thing where we just set these high bars of what these things should be. And then a lot of people can't live up to that. And
And you
just
kill yourself trying to live up to it.
yeah. And it's like and then and then if you do get to that point, you're fucking miserable because it's not going to bring you happiness. A lot of people just don't understand. Like, it's not that they don't understand. It's the fact like they just don't know a way to be themselves and be happy with themselves, and that's okay. Like, you don't have to go for a 10, bro. Like, a lot of motherfuckers too, they be setting themselves up because they go for like, you know, all like models and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that and go for like all that. And it's like, it's all right to have confidence and be
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what? I know, but it's also good to be realistic and show like, who you are, and like you can get to like this point and then maybe work your way up and shit like that. But a lot of the times when it comes to like dating specifically, like guys just shoot themselves in the foot
In a lot of
because
different ways.
because they set themselves up for failure because they have these high expectations of what people should be, even if it's not even just looks, it's personality wise. And like they just it just doesn't work well. It doesn't
Usually,
bode well.
usually with the dudes, man, the conversation is I always tell young women or dudes too, doesn't matter. When it's always the dude that's got the dudes that are coming up to you 9 times out of 10 are assholes. I'm gonna be for real with you. Right? They got that game, they got that swag, they hitting up every single girl down the list. And they're like, where's all the good guys at? I'm like, motherfucker, he probably at home doing his homework, just playing video games, chilling, eating. I tell people all the time, what you need a fat guy.
But
and they said, why I need a fat guy? I said, we ain't gonna do you wrong, girl. We ain't gonna do
the
you
problem
wrong.
though is that like I personally would always tell guys like you just like, you know what? Shoot your shot.
Yeah, shoot it.
Because nothing is like a lot of the times, especially for guys, we get rejected on a daily basis. Like we can get rejected for so many things, but when it comes to dating, you really have to get rejected a lot because that's how you get better. You get rejected and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna switch this up, I'm gonna do this and this. And then you have the flip side where like if you reject a woman, that's like the most devastating fucking thing in their life. Getting rejected. And then they go at you, then they go at your insecurities, then they go at this and this. And that kind of rolls into that conversation because maybe we like guys, we do have our insecurities. And if you tell somebody those things, what they are, they could use them against you. And that's why
in
we
a
keep
later
quiet.
discussion. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why we keep it quiet.
Yeah, a lot of things. Not the rejection isn't just even dating, like even trying to hang out with dudes, other dudes. You're always just kind of worried, like, what are they gonna say? What are they gonna think? Feel? I'm gonna be weird. Like I ain't trying to ask a dude to hang out. And he's like, no, man, you weird, or like, no, or I'm busy, or I got shit to do. Like it's so hard for me to get my boys that are isolated. The key thing that you said was isolated. A lot of us men that are committing suicide, pure isolation and loneliness, feeling like no one understands us. The biggest thing that comes through my office for every client when they're like devastatedly depressed, contemplating life, is no one understands me. I don't even understand myself, but specifically no one even tries to sit with me. And so we'll talk about, building. First, we regulate them emotions, make sure they don't do nothing crazy. And we'll try to put them in front of people, dude. And dudes are insecure about their weight, muscles, height is a big one with women. But I got a lot of small kings too, short kings. and great dudes, great personality, Spence, but they're in their heads all the time. All the time. Even when they get a girl or a partner, they're like, yeah, they're going to leave me for like a tall dude. I'm like, if they wanted to leave you, they would have left you, my guy. Like, they're here with you now.
Also, I always say this, but like, if they leave, then that's okay.
That's
It's okay
fine.
if they leave.
Like, that
Yeah,
wasn't
if
the
they leave, they
person.
leave. That's all right. If they go for a tall guy, then they're gonna go for a tall guy who's gonna treat them probably bad. Like, it's just how it goes.
Hey, some of you
It's
tall
how it
boys are okay
goes.
guys too. Some of you tall boys.
Yeah,
You know.
some of us.
Yeah.
But I think that goes back to like the insecurities. It's just that we get so inside of our heads that we think of like all these different possibilities that could happen.
Mhm.
And that fucks you up because you're just not in the moment anymore. You're thinking about what could happen.
Yep.
And
It's stops you
thinking
from
back
connecting.
is scary, but thinking forward is also pretty scary too.
Predictive. Yeah, it's fucked up.
And so a lot of times just stick in the moment and just be happy with like the things that you're doing now. And
Yep.
then if something happens, it fucking happens, and just move forward. Like, I know that's hard. It's easier
It's
to
so
say
hard.
than do. I get it.
Yep.
I get it. But at the same time, you're already fucking miserable. So why don't you just try that out and see how it works? You know?
Change it up. It's the isolation for these guys, man. In almost every facet. And normally the isolation starts from family too. Like, right, if the family unit's not good, then where do they learn the skills to connect? And if they already felt weird as shit, right? Let's say they're neurodivergent, Spence, ostracized, kind of me like you, me and you, get people fucking with us, bullied, this and that, right? Then we develop this persona. Some of them ain't got the talking skills like us though. And so they end up just isolating more and more and more and more. So I remember one of my humans, dude, was like, man, I don't think I've talked to anyone in the last 3 weeks. It's like, what the fuck? What do you mean? Like, no one's even acknowledged me. And I'll put myself in public spaces and it just, the world goes by. I was like, oh, yes and no. And tons of therapy, tons of talking. Obviously, there's depression throughout, the other siblings too. So something's going on in that family unit. Something's going on in that family unit.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. Check out the full episode on our channel and anywhere you find podcasts. Also, remember to like and subscribe. Whoop whoop.